You're watching Ask a Catfish. Episode 2, motherfucker! Why, hello there. You're watching another episode of Ask a Catfish. I'm your host, Matt Lowe. Tonight, Wednesday, there is another episode of Catfish airing, but you're gonna wanna watch this first because obviously I'm dope as fuck. Anyway, last time I answered one question and I rambled for like 50 hours. This time I'm gonna ramble for 50 hours, but I'm gonna answer at least 5 more questions. What? That's 5 more questions you're getting out of me. Now, before we get started, tonight's episode is not sponsored by Yankee Candle, NyQuil, because y'all know I'm getting over being sick, and this helps when you're sick and when you also wanna sleep like you're in a coma, baby. And last but not least, The Matrix Reloaded on VHS, just released. All right, question number 1. Where can I watch Catfish? I know for sure that you can watch all the episodes from any season. I'm not sure about the current season, but you can watch it on Hulu. I think you can find it on YouTube, on their Facebook channel. If you go to their website, you can probably figure it out from there. If you have MTV, obviously. And I'm sure there's other ways. I think there's something called like torrents or something. I don't know what that is. I think it has something to do with Napster or something, so you might be able to get it there. Question number 2. What was it like being on the show? Are you glad that you did it? Being on the show was pretty insane. I was just nervous because at that point I had not really done much. I think I lost about 100 pounds before we filmed, and I had not been doing much, I was about 600 pounds. So just leaving my house was nerve-wracking. So then now I'm gonna be on a TV show where thousands, millions maybe, after all these years, are gonna see it. So it was just all nerve-wracking. And then just going through the whole thing, I just know that I was sweating a lot. I was breathing really hard, so I'm sure the sound guys had fun listening to my beatboxing of fat breathing. And yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but I'm glad that I did it though. After all these years, I've met so many people I don't know if I would have met if I didn't go on this show, including Kim, including Max, Neve, the crew, anybody that I've encountered because of the show. There's so many people that I've met, so many people that I've talked to that I would probably not be connected with today if I didn't go on the show. So I'm really glad I did it. And I think a lot of people ask me this question because if you watch most Catfish episodes, there's like a lot of drama and maybe the people hate each other or it doesn't turn out to be what you think it's gonna be. Our episode, I feel like, was pretty straightforward and not really crazy dramatic or anything. So I feel like, people ask me if I'm glad I did it. Of course, I am glad, I think other people that get on the show, they think they're gonna get famous or like get their own TV show afterwards. So I've heard of people multiple times in different seasons kind of thinking that shit. So maybe that's another reason why people ask that question. I don't know, but I'm glad I did it. It was a great experience, nerve-wracking, but that was like my first example of coming out of my shell and finally just stepping out into the light away from my room. So it was great. It was a good way to celebrate that. Off of that, the 3rd question is, are you and Kim still friends? Kim and I are still friends. I'm not the greatest of friend to most of my friends when it comes to making phone calls. I think a lot of us can relate to that. Phone calls are kind of hard to do after a stressful day. So I try to text, and Kim is one of those people where I'll try to check in every once in a while. I'm not that good at keeping up with all of my friends like I should, but to me, Kim is always going to be a good friend, and I'm always going to love her as a friend. So I'm glad she's in my life, and she still is, and we plan on meeting at some point in our lives again, hopefully soon. 4, do you have a girlfriend? The answer is no, I don't. I don't know. I'm not really looking right now, and I am really close to somebody that I'm talking to, but other than that, I do not have a girlfriend, so if you know Sarah Jean Underwood, the model, who's not single, but if you can talk her out of being with who she's with to be with me, then let's talk relationship. But as of right now, no, I do not have a girlfriend, and everybody's confused because they're like, damn, you look good with that dope ass hair. Our last question, have you been catfished since your episode aired? I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes. I've talked to thousands and thousands of people literally since this episode has aired. You have to remember, the one that I was on was like 7 or 8 years ago, so it's a pretty long time ago, and I've had a constant stream of communication online with so many people, and probably a lot of them have been the same person for all I know. So I kind of just don't trust anybody about anything in general, so I'm sure I'm getting catfish, but if I found out, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, wow, cool, man, you catfished me for what? I just was having a friendly conversation with you. Oh, you're the one I sent all those dick pics to. My bad.